What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channels. Am I live now here? Feel me? Am I live now? So, I want to talk to you about like Jezebels and, this is for all the, growing men, you know what I'm saying? Why you should be wary and be aware, but not be afraid, but be aware of these Jezebels, right? And in layman terms, a Jezebel is a spirit of lust, or an individual that is like a energy vampire. And speaking to my man, usually Jezebels are portrayed as very attractive women, or very attractive girls, or just very attractive females. Because I don't know which age, range you guys are in, so I just had to say like that so you guys could have your own interpretation. But I feel like, I don't know, like going back to not just Lilith, because I don't know if you guys know that story, but Lilith was like one of the first women that God created, but she ended up turning into the first ever Jezebel, right? You guys do your research on that, but essentially they say she's the true succubus or whatever. When you sleep, that's the spirit of Lilith that consumes your semen. And then for the guys that deal with succubus, and then you guys understand what I'm saying. But this is just topics that are esoteric, knowledge that is only known by a certain group. But why you shouldn't, or why you should be wary of a Jezebel, is because they usually come, and they usually are going to always come in the moments of where you are about to scratch your surface, not like become the best you, or while you're in your prime, but God, he lets the devil test you by putting out a fine girl in front of you. Let's see, I'm gonna go sauce her up, I'm gonna say whoop the whoop, and then I'm just gonna crack, and then you feel me, that's gonna be my little baby. She becomes your little baby, and then you feel me, y'all vibing, y'all doing what y'all gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might make it official. Whoop de whoop. Next thing you know, things are not really how they used to be. She's not moving how she used to move, or like she just not the same vibe, or she's just essentially draining you, and you don't know why you don't always feel like being next to her, or she's always trying to aggravate you, or she's always trying to insinuate or initiate an argument. And these reasons are happening because you fell for the trap. The trap of, oh yeah, she fine, yeah, I'm gonna get right, whoop-de whoop, all that type shit. And then when you realize you're in a hole, but like you really can't get out, now it's on you to have perception and understand, what situation am I really in? Was this situation ever beneficial, or was it just something that I fell into because of lust and because of my flesh, right? Because in this life, this right here, a lot of times takes over before your mind. This is why I want you guys to practice being self-aware, so you don't let your body control your actions, right? Essentially, this is real shit. And I just don't want you guys to fall into that trap. So that's why I want to talk about this video. So how can you dodge or maneuver up a Jezebel? So one, you have to understand your worth. You have to understand who you are. You have to understand what you bring to the table, because most of the times we let our flesh take over our mind, and we want to have sex, and we want to be lustful. And as a man, it's in our nature to hunt the prey that we see and deem as prey. But the Jezebel does the same thing. She sees you want her, which is the prey, and she plays the game. then they play it great, motherfucker. They play that shit great, bro. And when they play it to stay. They play it to have you in a bond contract, essentially. And for you to maneuver that, you have to understand your worth. You have to understand your value, so you don't fall into your lustful thoughts. And you gotta make sure that you're prepared to suffer, right? No shit, because when you don't get that nut, essentially you gonna try to just, you feel me, like find different ways to get that nut. But what you're not understanding is, usually when you're in that situation, you really want to figure out how to better your cognitivity, which is your mind capacity. And because of these situations that occur, a lot of men fall to their lust, and they don't really learn what assessment and what tests they're really being given by the Creator. Because, you know, when the Jezebel comes in your life, you're not really prepared, because it's not really spoken about. It's not really talked about like this. And when you see things are happening, usually you're about to scratch your surface. You're about to, you know, unlock different modes, either in, you know, your work life, your regular life, or just, you know, you as a person. And these modes that you're about to unlock is for your good, and it's for your present and your future, not your past. And you want to be able to have discernment and really understand, does this girl really like me, or is she baiting me because she knows that I want to, you know what I'm saying? So when you're noticing her sudden, you feel me, or like all these types of, you know, body language, you're gonna fall for it. And if you're not mentally strong, you might actually, you know what I'm saying, wipe that, or you might end up having a kid with that. And it's because of you falling prey to your lust that if you would have just took your time, analyze, and really understand, is she for me? Is this gonna benefit me? Is this an asset or is this a liability? Meaning, it can be an asset because I want a nut, but essentially in the long game, it's gonna turn to a liability, because if I do not have protection, I'm going to be able to have a child with her. And then now we have first a soul contract and of course, then we have a binding contract because we created a physical being. Essentially, now you're in the loop of the world, because God lets the devil do this to millions and millions and millions and millions, billions of people in this earth. And you have to be able to understand your worth, and you have to have a certain discernment so you can judge your situation, right? So to continue on of how to maneuver with the Jezebel, or if you get a Jezebel thrown your way, you are going to be tested in different ways. And some ways she can seem like she's a good girl. It might not be, you feel me, the fine bit, you know what I'm saying? It might not be fine shit clone like clone. It might not be fine shit clone. It might just be some shit like some home girl, or just, it could be like some shit from the workhouse, you feel me? And you just been dry. It's been 3 months. You talking about like, no, you feel me? You ain't cracking nothing. You just dry as fuck. And essentially, this is a test, because it's going to show you how much will you have over your flesh, how much will you have over your lust. And for you to have certain amount of will is going to benefit you in the long run, so you can have discipline, because essentially all this is just for discipline. You know, the Creator wants to see if you have discipline. And if you don't have discipline, then essentially you're gonna fall for temptation. And it's a lot of Jezebels, they tempt you, you know, with their looks, with their actions, you know, with their personality, you know, and you're never truly going to know until you're stuck in the loop. You know what I'm saying? This is why you have to be wary of Jezebels that are going to come in your life. You know what I'm saying? As a growing man, as a young man, as a adult, as an older adult, and as elderly, because you know, as men, we just gonna be aging like wine. You know, we could be 50 years old, but you feel me? It might just be a little 25, little time, you know what I'm saying? Little 10-piece chicken nugget. You know what I'm saying? With some sweet and sour, with some honey mustard on the side. Like, you might be 50 years old, you still getting tested by the creator, bro. He still wanted if you got discipline. Cause these, you know what I'm saying, sugar daddies are real. Them niggas thinking, yeah, bro, she's young and hot. But bro, you could get your little 45-year-old, you know what I'm saying, call it a day. She cooking clean for you. She not gonna ask for too much, you know what I'm saying, just pay her bills. But you know what I'm saying, that 25-year-old, she just gonna be asking for a new Birkin bag, all type of shit. But you feel me? This is why you have to be wary of these Jezebels that's gonna come in your life as a young man. I just want to give y'all some game, so now y'all know, y'all boys stick and move, bro. Stick and move. You know what I'm saying? Am I loud now? And I'm out.